I have pre-said that 2020 and 2021 are lost years for the retail sector. As of today, we have managed to reduce the gap from last year to zero. And we still have 15 days to the end of April, which is the Orthodox Easter. So one can make an assumption that we will see a solid growth for the first 4 months against last year. If one wanted to guess, I would say that 21, come what may, would be a better year than 2020. But whether we will be in a position to match 2019, this is a desire, but for the time being, it is not even in our budget. The transport cost has been quadrupled. Now for a company like ours, but also for our competitors, that means practically a price change on products. However, we have been in a good position to pre-negotiate transport costs from 2020 to 2021. So our contracts hold for the time being, and we have not faced the tragedy that our competitors face currently. How much this will be manageable and controllable, at what implications that may have in 2022, is at this stage anybody's guess. The e-commerce channel for the jumbo operation is a complementary service which is offered to our customers, and practically it is a gross margin contributor. So we have doubled our capacity to serve our customers, and we expect once we are allowed to operate freely, this market will be growing by 30% a year. We have promised the 47. Our desire is not to pay less than what we paid last year, but this is still a desire. And we need to have good news from the coronavirus field. It's growth, 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 nothing else. No growth, no party. We have pre-announced that the Romanian market definitely will end up being as big or even bigger than the Greek market. So there isn't such a thing as maturity of the market. We have just entered the market. We are still less 1/3 of the road. Once we enter the Romanian market with e-commerce, there the situation is different. There we don't have enough stores around the country, and we expect that the e-commerce activity will take a more dominant part than the one existing in Greece. And to this end, we have invested what needed to be invested in order to create 2 e-shop centers plus a distribution center to serve these 2 e-shop centers. Between these 3 situations, we are talking about an investment in the vicinity of 35 to 40 million euros. we expect that the first year in Romania, the performance of the e-commerce activity will be the equivalent of 2 to 3 stores. Yes, but it's too early still. I mean, the Israeli ordeal and venture is something that would be in the future. Definitely, we won't be able to serve this market before the end of 21 or even 22. Yes, it is a big market. We have partnered with a big player there, but we have not reflected any numbers in our budgeted numbers for 21, nothing. We are faced now with the situation that some raw materials have increased significantly, like, for example, the cost of plastic or the cost of cotton and so on. We expect this, let's say, inflationary pressures on raw materials. Once we come back to normality, this will also normalize as well. So yes, the short-term mix of products may be altered because we don't intend to try to pass price increases of raw materials to the final consumer. If one wants to take a very long view of the matter, one would say that as we go forward and as e-commerce strengthens, branded products will find other distribution channels to end up in the consumer's hands at a lower cost. And as a result, in our plans, we have to substitute part of these sales with other product categories that we are currently reviewing. But all in all, we don't lose too much sleep on that.
Thank you. As a quick follow-up, is there an opportunity in the pet category or other household items that are not that significant today?
For sure. Okay. Pets are more important than children because they offer their love without return. So definitely it is an area for expansion. And as the years come by, we will focus more and more. I mean, there are categories, let's say the pet category or cycling or things like that, that have come to favor now. We don't sell, for example, bicycles because we cannot offer the service, the after-sales service, but we sell all the accessories of bicycles with a huge success. And the same is with pets. We don't sell pet food, but we sell all the accessories of pets. And this we may end up offering pet food in our stores in the future. I sold the shares because I have 2 daughters. One will remain within the company and will operate the company. The other daughter is not involved with the company, and I don't want them to have any conflict, so she's taking a different direction. What is a low valuation or a high valuation is really insignificant. For me, it was a fair valuation for the amount of shares sold. And I'm happy that I sell shares and other people make money on that. This is the attitude I had in the last 20 years, that people buy shares to make money, don't buy shares to lose money. No, I don't. This is a decision that will become again, let's say, will come to priority once the crisis subsides. I mean, we are going through a survival process now. So it would be a lie to say that the focus is there. There are various challenges in front of us due to the fact that the distribution channel has been violently disrupted. This happens for the first time in my generation. And I'm worried about unforeseen implications that may arise out of this fact. The good scenario is that as the markets turn back to normality, all overreactions will normalize, but and that the cost of money will remain low in order to propel the recovery. If, however, this is not the case, then we will be entering an era of price changes without, on the other hand, to have revenue changes. So once the amount of money the people hoarded during the last year crisis is spent, then we may face a situation where we have higher prices to what the consumer is affording to pay. And this is something that is a worrisome aspect. My wish and hope is that this is a temporary phenomenon, but temporary to becoming not a temporary phenomenon is just an inch away. For example, as I pre-mentioned, we face raw material increases, producers face raw material increases in the range between 15 and 30%, or transport cost increases in the range of 300, 400, 500% higher. This is impossible not to be reflected on the cost of goods bought. The question is, what will happen once these goods come into the market and people spend what they have hoarded, and they become again to a situation that they spend what they earn. There, the logical course of action is that gradually this inflationary pressure will subside. And this is our assumption as well, that I pre-mentioned, saying that I'd rather be reactive than proactive. But whether I'm right or wrong is anybody's guess. We shall see how things will develop after the summer months. So I advise a little bit of caution, nothing else. Thank you for listening to me.